It's Keeping 99 with your boy La Alpha mate, and he here with
Unico Williams, baby. And I just want to say, Mike Brown was not the problem in New York. Shout out to that IU contract that he just got, but I heard they try to give Brad Stevens $70 million, and they just gave Mike Woods $18 million. What's the deal? How you doing today?
I am relatively blessed. And we chilling today, man. We got a lot to talk about this week. Been crazy. Let's talk about it. Yo, listen. Did you see the big event of the weekend? I don't know if you saw it. Jake Paul, Ben Askren. Your thoughts, blah, blah, blah.
Okay, so I'm not like the biggest like fight fan. You know, I love sports, but my people sometimes they invite me to stuff like this. And I was attending my grandmother's funeral on Saturday when this was happening. But you know, I've kept my eye on Twitter, and you know, I went to some of them events, and they really be 4-5 hours to get through the card and all that, and especially with the COVID protocols. I saw what happened in that main event. Wow. I feel sorry for everybody that just, all the little kids out there, that Jake Paul fans out there that waited all that time and asked their mama, can they stay up a little bit later tonight just to watch that? Because he did what he had to do. He handled his business. And I think I'm a fan of Jake Paul right now. Or is it Logan?
It's Jake.
I'm a fan of Jake Paul. I'm a fan now. I love a troll that keeps on trolling. And he is trolling the sport of boxing right now without actually taking somebody serious. And I'm sorry, I'm here for it.
Yo, let's talk about it. If you haven't learned yet, instead of hating on the kid, which we're gonna use the word hating because that's what it is, because I've seen some few boxers talking about we worked our entire lives and they go get this big payday and we don't. He generated 1.4 million pay-per-view buys. Can you do that? Because the whole rest of the event was a bunch of trash who nobody cared about. Some dude got fake punched in the lower area and pretended he got hit there, and we saw a replay. He missed, and then he went on the floor and got stretchered out in a stretcher. This event was the wildest event I've ever seen.
Fiasco.
Oscar De La Hoya Golden Boy was so high. He said, it's Soviets in the ring. You're like, bro, it's no Soviets in the ring. There's not a Soviet in the ring. There's Soviets in the ring. I will go 100%. No, I will go down. And I will go down 100% in his fight. I'm like, they don't let this man up here drunk, high, coked up or something on his stage. And the man telling me there is Soviets in the ring. I don't know what he saw. We watched performances that wasn't that good. Let's just be honest.
Oh my God.
We watched like 3 hours of performances.
Remember the last one that had all those performances and we was like, who?
But this one had a bunch of people you knew and they was terrible. But some of it wasn't them. It was the quality of the show. For some reason, it was weirdly colored with this filter on it that was terrible, the whole show.
Where was it at, by the way? I'm sorry.
It was at Atlanta. And for some reason, it was in Atlanta. And they had the Western Mount Rushmore. They have proclaimed themselves the West Mount Rushmore. With E40, Too Short, Ice Cube, and what's that? They had that thing up there. And I'm like, you in Atlanta. Nobody in Atlanta would care about the West Coast Mount Rushmore. So that was weird. I think they all had ownership in Triller, so they all just showed up to perform because we all owned it. If this event was 2 hours, it would have been great, but since it was 4 hours, it was trash. We did have that dude again. The funniest thing of the event to me was this dude literally faking like he got punched in the nuts and then fell down and got stretchered off. By the way, this is a real boxer, by the way, Red Cash. He got stretchered off. Everybody snooped out, so he didn't even hit you, fam. We have replay. We have replay. He missed you completely. His hand said right across the right around, and that's his body. He completely missed it. He just walked off. I don't know. Justin Bieber mic was going off. It went off there in America the Beautiful.
Of all people, like he probably is the biggest diva, maybe the most rich in that whole building.
Can we
And
tell?
y'all let his stuff mess up. That's how you knew the night was gonna be the way it was.
Can we say shout out Doja Cat? Yeah, I'm saying God, she bad. All I just say tell the truth, she bad.
I shout her out because I'm physically attracted to her,
So,
and I feel like I think I could talk to her a little bit, but other than that, I don't know what she do. She's been killing the charts too, so I guess
you gonna be her best friend.
Move. It was a good move.
You gonna be her best friend? A real bad?
No,
You gotta have your own money.
No, she gonna write a different song about me. She gonna write a different song about me.
But shout out to Doja Cat, man. Shout out Sweetie, bro. When she was out there in the backstage eating some weird pizza with hot Cheetos on it, and was just scarfing it down with Snoop Dogg.
Oysters with ramen noodle seasoning.
Yeah, I don't understand, but okay. I guess I couldn't hear the music good. I'm really honest. I'm be honest with you. I'm not a fan of their music, so it don't matter.
She's wearing a Von Dutch hat. So I mean, we just knew that was the kind of night it was gonna be.
It's not like against it. I'm not into that type of music. So they have their style. I do know their best friend song, but other than that, the rest of it, I'm not for me. So, but they were beautiful women. They had that Too Short was trying to yell at this woman to twerk. It was just one woman twerking on the whole show, and then it had a stripper pole.
His first music video came out when it was like the 1970s, like his first rap album. His
like
first rap video came out.
I'm like, it's one woman, bro. What? This ain't a 90s video. 90s video would have had 30 of them on the stage. We don't care about COVID. You can't play.
He don't got that kind of. I don't think he got that kind of clout with these young girls out here.
Man, we don't care. You better find you just shit. That woman like she about 40, but she look good though. Black don't crack. You know what I mean? And then we get to then we had Frank Mir versus Frank Mir. Just sat there and got punched in the face 100 times. He was just sitting there, just getting punched. And I'm like, is this all it gonna be? Dude was a jab. Pop,
never boxed a day in his life, huh?
He was an MMA fighter, and he was walking up like this, pop, 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 just repeating in the face. And I'm like, okay. And then, like we said, the dude that fell out on the stretcher. We gotta mention that 3 times. It's hilarious. Dude got strode out on the stretcher for no reason. Then we had the main event: Jake Paul versus the Pillsbury Dough MMA fighter. He came out with a straight love handle, said, "My name is Ben," with some dude with a homeless sign. And then Jake Paul came out with a robot. And then I asked the YouTube commentary channel, Miller DC. Go watch his YouTube. He commentates fights. He will be this weekend. Check out for our boy. Hit that like and subscribe on this channel to get more content. He came out, and as soon as I saw it, I said, what if Jake Paul ended this in like the first 2 minutes? Because for some reason, it just looked like he was going to get, his head was so big. Ben Askren head is like legitimately like just huge. I'm like, he just finna get punched in it. And the fight was over in 2 minutes, and everybody waited 4 hours for this minute and 30-minute fight. $50. They made 1.6 million, 1.4 million, 1.6 million pay-per-view buy. The numbers are loosely right now. They don't know what it really is. That's the 2 numbers I've been hearing. Jake Paul says $65 million to $75 million revenue made. Jake made over $1 million. Ben made $1 million just to go to sleep. That's a good night. You just walk up to a dude and walk like this, punch him 1 time, and then get knocked to sleep. Then you got a good rest, go back to your family with $1 million rich.
So for his legacy and his brand and what he does, he had to win that fight. But I think that after the fact, like if he had lost that fight, I don't know how he really comes back from that.
Oh,
like
if Jake
if he had lost to Nate Robinson, and then they could have built up this whole like rematch thing, you know what I'm saying? That would have worked. This guy, can you tell us what you know about this MMA guy? Because I don't know much about him. Is he accomplished? Was this a fight?
He's a very accomplished wrestler. He's an Olympic wrestler. 19-2 in MMA. He the guy that got knocked out with the knee from Masvidal. And to be honest with you, if I tell the truth, if Masvidal didn't catch him slipping with that knee, he could have probably beat Masvidal. Because Masvidal do not like wrestlers, as we'll find out with Usman. But he knew that Ben is awkward. He set him up by turning his body. Ben does what Ben does, like he did in this fight. He does that little thing where he chases you with his hands like this. And Masvidal jumped off the cage, came up, kneed him in the face, and ended it in 5 seconds. And Jake basically let him do the same thing with him where he chased you around. Which, if they were doing MMA or UFC, Jake wouldn't have a chance because he would just grab him and then he'd been a vice grip by an old wrestler who just heavy and fat with love handles, and he'll just roll him on the floor all day. But in a boxing match, that's not gonna do good.
Boxing, though.
So boxing, that will not work as well, my friend. And he got.
So he's taking on an NBA player. He's taking on a ground and pound type of guy, if you will.
Yeah, a wrestler who is not good at striking, but he is a Olympic wrestler.
So I think we are exposing the sport of boxing as if you not no boxer, don't think you can box.
That should have been true 100 times. But a lot of people.
I mean, we gave McGregor a chance, not a chance. He didn't have to stand a chance, but he hung in there.
Can we tell the truth about McGregor? Floyd made him look
yes,
good.
Mayweather let him hang in there that long. Yes.
Mayweather gonna do. By the way, let's tell the truth. Mayweather gonna do the same thing with Logan Paul.
Play with him for 12 rounds.
He gonna probably play with him for. McGregor a fighter, so he might play with him less round. And then when McGregor got tired, Floyd just put that work on. Because boxing is way different than MMA.
I mean, people think because you run and dunk and you fast and stuff like that, or because you can put somebody in a hole. Boxing is its own kind of sport. And it's just like you can't say I'm a great golf player. I mean, not golf player, but you can't be a great player in all these sports and then call yourself being a great golf player. It's a skill. It's a real skill. Boxing is a real skill. I'm sorry.
I'm gonna tell you the truth. Boxing, you do not have to be athletic to box. You just have to have muscle memory and know technique. Being a great athlete means nothing. Matter of fact, I'm telling you right now, Mike Tyson couldn't play another sport.
He the type that when y'all play basketball at the rec center, he ain't gonna do nothing but play hard defense and hit a couple of layups. He ain't gonna shoot like that.
He gonna push you out the air. That's all he gonna do and get mad and he gonna start fighting. Everybody seen that dude in the hood that could fight, but he couldn't hoop. And he started trying to fight you, especially if you drop him off. I know a dude, he's put people, had that little pole in the back. We almost going to pole, everybody be like, hey, bro, don't push me in that pole no, bro. We told you. We done told you about this pole right now, man. Quit pushing people in that pole, bro. We had to tell them, bro. You got to warn them sometimes. Big, strong dude. Can't play no other sport, but they can box. You know why? They've been doing it since they were 5.
That's it.
And the thing is about that, Jake Paul probably need to fight a high-level amateur boxer. I'm not going to say a pro boxer. He's not on that level, but maybe a low-level pro boxer. But any boxer that can fight, any real boxer, he has no chance even in the next 6 years.
Is that fair? Is that fair to ask him to fight a boxer? Like
a low level,
whatever.
A low level. It's not fair to ever ask him to fight a decent pro boxer. You can't tell someone who been boxing since 20 to fight somebody that boxing since 5 and expect them to have a chance. It's not fair to. It wouldn't never be fair. It should always be celebrities who have boxing experience from now. A Nate Diaz, a Tyrone Woodley, or somebody that really boxing.
Let's find somebody that's 1-0 that got their license, or maybe even 5-4. Just like a weird kind of like they ain't great, but they ain't good. They ain't great, but they ain't bad.
I don't. He don't fight decent people. No.
We don't even need nobody that got 9 fights in them.
No, you need someone who know what they're doing, but not necessarily good. Because I'm telling you, people don't understand what muscle memory is. A dude that does this is their whole life since 5. Me learning Spanish at 5 compared to me trying to learn Spanish now is gonna be a lot different. I can pick up when I was 5, I could pick up Spanish like that. If you box at 5, you can pick up boxing like and everything, and then you do it for 20 years. Oh, I'm finna. It's like natural to me. It's like breathing. Floyd Mayweather is like breathing boxing him. For somebody
He
who
can box today.
That's what I'm saying.
He could box a low level boxer, like just get out his car and box him right now.
Floyd can fight a decent boxer right now and beat him. Because he don't stop
Shout out to
training.
the new hair growth he got.
He don't.
I just seen his new hair.
Floyd don't stop training. Mike Tyson said he like, bro, I did drugs and stuff. You know what Floyd's vice is? He don't drink. He don't smoke. He box. He ain't got nothing else going for him in life. I said, dog. He said he don't like nothing else. Then a lot of people, you know, some people say he got insecurities and all that. Boxing is the only place to get rid of that insecurity because that's the only thing he know he great at. So he just like lives in boxing and money. Them the only two things he got for him. So on a person like that, that's why I said I don't care what y'all say, a puncher's chance. Logan Paul has the slimmest chance on earth. It's not impossible. The reason I'm gonna say it's not impossible is because if God just like have grace to Logan Paul and put a little sweat on the floor and he slips into a punch from a man that's 45 pounds bigger, he might knock him out. You know what I mean? But that's what it's gonna take. It's gonna take God putting sweat on the floor and floor slipping. What's the chance of that, Joe?
It's slim.
That's what I'm saying. That's the ultimate truth. Could it happen? Sure. Do I plan on it happen? I don't think there's no chance that's gonna happen.
I mean, that's like you and I going into the NBA right now, shooting for 10 for 10. It's possible.
Yeah.
I've hit a shot before.
If you get hot,
it's slim.
Oh, we got a shout. I gotta give a quick shout out to Steph Curry. I know this ain't the sports show, yeah, but my man is on the. I watched him yesterday. That man get trapped at half court and drop 47. I'm talking about they literally. I have never seen no disrespect to everybody else on the team before as I see with Golden State. I watched Kobe back in like 06, and it wasn't this level of disrespect to his teammates. Except for Smush Parker. They didn't really care about Smush. But Golden State, it's the whole team. Bro, they don't hold nobody. They literally put 2 people. I watched it yesterday with the Celtics. 3 people come and trap Steph Curry at half court. He'll pass the ball, run around circle, loop around, shoot a 3. 2 people chase. This is impossible.
That's a whole different tier of great. It's just
I think people watch it and don't realize how hard they try to make it for him to score, and he still scored 47. You know he done had 4 games. They said this whole season. There's 2 or 3 people that have hit 10 threes twice this season. Kevin Durant, that show you how great Kevin Durant is. He barely even played and he did it. And one other person, and nobody else has hit 10 threes number 1 time. Steph Curry did it 4 times this week. 10 threes 4 times this week. That is insane. In 7 days, 10 threes 4 times.
And what are we at? 32 or 31 years old?
He 30. I ain't 33.
He might be 30.
Yeah,
30.
I think it said
right
most. I think they got a list that he's at age of 33, most 30-point game in a row. Him and Kobe tied at 10, and LeBron had 7. So I think that meant it's how you have 4 games this week. You have 30. You have 10 threes. The record's only 13. And he could have broke the record twice in them 4 games, by the way. He didn't play in the 4th quarter in 2 of them.
Man, that dude just different, man. When they say he revolutionized the game of basketball, I mean, I don't care what position you play. You gonna want to try and shoot threes like Steph Curry. I do it all the time, and I'm not even influenced by Steph Curry. I'm a mid-range guy. Like I was influenced by probably as far as like jumpers go. It'd probably be closer to Kobe, but I did have a spirit animal in Reggie. But even Reggie wasn't just out there just shooting threes like that every night. He was doing a whole bunch of different catch and shoot stuff. That's my game in a sense growing up. Then Kobe taught us to back down a little bit. But yeah, dude's amazing. First ballot Hall of Famer, whatever you want to call it, best shooter in history. I hate that Clay is losing time to kind of like compete for that because right now he's definitely he can be in that discussion for top 5.
Yeah, so I hope Clay get back, cause Steph, they doing that by itself. I know people ESPN show y'all the record that they 5-5 in the last 10 games. Steph didn't play in the first 4, and the 10th one was they got beat by 60 points. Remember we were talking about that a few weeks ago?
Yeah.
Now Steph single-handedly keeping them and winning, or keeping them in the game every night.
I want Kelly Oubre to know that I'm very upset with you.
He ain't playing with no shit. Wiggins playing decent. Draymond can't hit the side of the goal almost. He doing some good passes though off that little screen to help Steph out.
We having quadruple doubles off of like 10, 10, 10, 10.
Yeah.
I'm like, all them rebounds you getting, you ain't got more points than that. Can't we get some putbacks or something?
But Steph said, I'm carrying this scoring, dog. Let's go. I'm scoring. He averaging 40. He averaging 40 this month. Think about it. And he didn't play in the fourth quarter 2 times.
I hate to say it. I know it's a little early, but right now, I mean, I never said that about Steph ever in my life, but today is the day. Steph Curry might be the MVP. He's the most valuable player for his team, obviously.
If he don't play, they lose by 60 to Toronto Raptors. Or if he do play, they can win. So if I lose by 60 when you don't play, I think it might be. But again, you know how they got the rules. You got to play a certain amount of games, blah, blah, blah. Steph missed game. They're going to do all that. Embiid playing amazing. Jokic playing amazing. All that. So KD got hurt again.
Shout out to Denver, man. We all know about the injury they just got. Yeah. So shout out to them. We're going to see what Jokic is made of.
Yeah. Jamal Murray is a playoff, special playoffs. He was a star. And now they went from my potential favorites to win the West to maybe out first round. I'm just saying.
I hate to say it, I still don't trust the Suns.
Yep. Chris Paul is going to get to the second round at least. That's what he do.
Chris Paul will, if you didn't sign him for nothing else, he going to the second round.
He might not get past it, but he going. It's a guaranteed spot when you sign him, he going to the second round. I ain't never seen a dude who will stay in the second round. That's what he lose to.
And it's going to be a competitive second round. It's going to game 6 or 7.
I remember the joke with the Hornets with David West. And I'm like, ain't no way this team playing with the Lakers. Went a strong 6 with the Lakers. And I don't even know who was on that team. Pager? Was it Pager on that team?
It was Pager.
I know it's David
West.
Chris Paul.
Because all it was pick and roll all day. And then Utah had to get him out of there.
Yeah. But it was a strong second round.
Had to get him out of there.
But it was always a strong second round.
And Chauncey Billups had to get him out of there.
Shout out to Chauncey in Denver. The best player Melo played with at the time he played with him. I ain't going to say he better than Iverson, but Melo played with Iverson at a time when Iverson wasn't Iverson no more.
Iverson didn't know how to beat Iverson in that situation because he's never had somebody like Carmelo.
Yeah, so that situation was always weird. They played the same way, didn't get the ball. And plus, Iverson was older then, and he had a lot of wear and tear on his body for his style of play. The same reason Dwayne Wade retired early. You see Melo and LeBron still play. Dwayne Wade had to get out of there. He's like, yo, my body can't take this. People don't remember Flash. They remember Wade. Wade was with LeBron. Flash was with before. Flash used to get every play going to the floor on the floor. Every play. He basically with Derrick Rose. He had to learn how to do that backup mid-post game that Derrick Rose ain't learned how to do yet. So that's who Flash was. He was Dwayne Wade.
That's what kept D-Wade.
Yeah, but he was basically Derrick Rose. Both of them go to the rim every play.
That's why he had to quit before, Carmelo and Chris Paul and them. Because that right there, his style of play, reckless. And the fact that he was bigger than AI, that's what helped him play as effective as he did play down the end of down the stretch of his career where AI was filling them lumps. But D Wade actually was a pretty solid 6'4", 6'5".
Yeah, but that style ain't meant to play. I know this ain't a basketball podcast, and what's new 99 ain't this week. So we're gonna get back to what y'all want to hear, that weave talk. Let's go. We just didn't talk about this week because, as y'all know, tomorrow will be the what questions women want to ask men. So we're gonna finally get that episode out. So that'll be tomorrow on this. So like and subscribe, hit that notif bell. We're gonna try to do more like that and stuff like that. But let's get some weave talk. Shang Chi. I don't know which one it is. They going when they actually finally say his name. It's been an argument on the internet which one to say. I've seen both say both. We'll find out when they actually said his name. I thought they were gonna do it today. What's your name? Who are you?
Who is Marvel to just make somebody's Asian name canon? So y'all gonna call him, but Marvel might troll and call him both because it might be
you know what's
different dialect in China.
Yeah, but you know the other one from Mortal Kombat, so they might change it based on that. So you know you got Shane from Mortal Kombat, so they might have it the other pronounced way for their character, so it don't be the same.
Well, Marvel stays in their bag, so they stay in their legal bag and all that bag. They stay in all bags.
Yeah. But watching that trailer, that is the most excited I am for a Marvel movie this year. Cause they remind me back of Enter the Dragon back in the day with Jet Li now.
I was gonna ask you, do you think that was a better trailer than any?
That was better than Loki.
Any Jet Li trailer you've seen?
It's been a long time since I've seen a Jet Li trailer, so I can't say that.
I mean,
I was little when that came out. And I Enter the Dragon. I wasn't born Enter the Dragon, but them 90 Jet Li movies, I can't remember. But that trailer was that music hit. That soundtrack for that trailer was amazing. A little bit of Wu-Tang feel. A little bit of that Wu-Tang feel to that.
You know, we love 36 Chambers.
Yeah, so you know it had that cool little tin ring thing that souped around. Had a cool narrative over the top. Gave us that little Thanos vibe. I gave you 10 years to do whatever you want with your life. And what did it get you? That Thanos line, what did it get you? Right back to me. You know that good
I'm
for quote.
excited to see how they really about to how y'all gonna put this together.
Yeah, that trailer got me hyped though. I think it's supposed to be a tournament style. And you're gonna see some
10 rings. Because it doesn't appear that he has superpowers. He just seems to be a dope martial artist. Which shout out to Marvel because they tend to put in different concepts of heroes. Like it's not always just somebody with a open.
Well, the trailer you do see some. He do have certain power. He has to have certain things with him. But when the water came through, I don't know if you paid attention to the trailer and the water slowed down. That's kind of the thing they can do like that. It's part of 10 Rings deal with the powers. It's not quite ultra powered, but it's the same thing. Kind of like Iron Fist. You know how to use your chi. It's kind of Dragon Ball, like know how to use your chi, can blast things and stuff like that. Well, not really like a ki blast, but it can bash you using like energy or something. That's how they explain it. Once you learn to control your chi, so he got that. He got that basic ki control and stuff like that. Then the 10 Rings.
That also makes me excited. I also like how Marvel, like I say, they always. You can be a superhero without, having to get hit with gamma rays and all that stuff. There's different ways to be a hero in the Marvel universe. And so, it's cool, like, where you can be like, hey, man, I was raised in this society and I'm just super powerful. So, where Captain America at? I'm trying to fight him.
Only thing that suck about this is the Mandarin never gets to meet, the real Mandarin never gets to meet Tony Stark. And that's one of his main villains. Iron Man main villain, even though the third Iron Man was about him versus the Mandarin, but it was a fake Mandarin. Then they had that little offshoot thing where he like the Mandarin on his power back. And I didn't know Easter egg. There's a lot of hints at the 10 Rings organization all through Marvel in almost every movie. Like some dude with the 10 Rings tattoo is somewhere taking pictures of hiding in the background, and I'm like, that's kind of cool that they've been planning this for almost 15 years.
I'm saying, is that why they went straight into the movie for this? And I thought this was gonna be a series like, you know, Birdman and New Cat and Snowboy.
They gonna kill you for that because they love them. But the 10 rings, yeah, you see a dude on it like in Captain America. One of the Captain Americans, a dude with a 10 ring on his neck just watching. They were just showing that, like, I'm like, so they've been setting this up for 15 years. Kevin Feige said he done set up stuff since to 2030. So, and probably beyond that, they got some stuff hinted at from 2040. So I'm like, yo, Marvel own their game. The fact they can put Easter eggs from a movie that came out a decade ago for a movie that's coming out this year. And it fits because we've been hinting at it for years.
Yeah, we don't even want to get into how involved the Marvel universe was into leading up to Thanos.
The whole thing was about the Infinity Saga. So I'm looking forward to Shang Chi.
Everything.
Loki.
So many years it was everything about the Infinity Stones. Like that's insane.
It was 20 years, wasn't it? From Iron Man, from the Avengers to that, and it was all set up because Loki's got his ships from the Avengers 1 from Thanos to get one of the stone.
It didn't start with the Hulk.
It probably
the new Hulk.
Well, whichever one came first, it started one of them. I don't know. But Thanos been around. He was set up for a long time, and he wouldn't even show up till later on. So that's really cool that they set up stuff. And the Infinity Saga over. I don't know who the big villain is next, but we're gonna find out. We got Loki coming up, which looks amazing, by the way.
Loki, a series or a movie?
The series Loki. It comes out June 9th. I'm looking forward to that. Mortal Kombat comes out this Friday. We said last week that it's last Friday, but they did move it back a week. So I'm looking forward to seeing that this weekend. We're going to talk about that next Tuesday, right here. So we're looking forward to that. Okay, let's get into some talks before we got to get off. We don't want this too long. Okay, we got Falcon and the Winter Soldier. What's your thoughts? What you think about it?
I'm going to let you go. You can take this segment. I fell off for a second. I've been watching Invincible, which I go ahead and be the professional on that next.
But this week we had the story of, if you watched episode 4, we wasn't here for that. I apologize. We're going to try to get back weekly no matter what. But we coming off the new Captain America, had the guy on the ground. We know that the main villain, she threw her friend Battlestar into the column. He passed away, unfortunately. New Captain America got upset. Found one of her boys. He was begging for his life. It wasn't me. All the cameras on him. He basically just smashed them with him, hitting back to Captain America versus Iron Man, which I liked how they throw back. So episode 5 starts off with them dealing with that. We see new Cap. We see U.S. agent, basically who he is now.
U.S. agent.
Yeah, we see him going a little cuckoo. I did it. I did what's right. I did what I had to do. I did it. And you start hearing the voices in his head. Then Sam and Bucky came up like, let's go, boys. We did it good. And they were like, no. You got to give us that
That's
shield.
Not what happened.
You got to give us that shield, homie. And he was like, oh, this is what it is. He loosened up, got ready for that fight. Amazing, great choreographed fight. Wasn't good as Shang-Chi though, but it was an amazing fight. This whole episode was basically story building. They got it off of him, took the thing. He got court-martialed, told him he kicked out of the army. He getting kicked out. He don't get no retirement. He ain't getting nothing.
No, he ain't getting no pension.
He ain't getting no pension. They took it all away. You embarrassed us, fam. You embarrassed us in front of. Why are you doing it in front of the cameras? Why are you doing it in front of the cameras, bro? We know what you did in Iraq as we went through this, but you did it in front of the people. Now the whole world see you as a villain. We can't hire you. You lose your pension and everything. Then we see Madam Hydra come up and basically, hey, here my card, blah, 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 setting up for U.S. agent, possibly the Thunderbolts, which I think will be cool in the future. That's the setup for that, possibly. We know U.S. agent going to show up in the last episode when he's called upon. Sam looks like he might get a new Captain America suit. We not sure. Might be a new Falcon suit. We're going to find out next episode. That where it left off of cliffhanger. We saw Sam and Bucky had their growth as characters. Sam told Bucky, hey, listen, right now you trying to avenge everybody instead of trying to do what's right. So we know that's going to hint at him going back to his friend, the Asian guy at the first episode, and acknowledging, hey, look, I did this to your son. That's what it looked like he's going to be. And then he's going to come back to New York and they're going to take care of the finale. This is the final episode. I'm looking forward to it. I want to see how the end credits going to be. Because that's going to be amazing, I think. The end credits will be fun to see how it's set up. I think you're going to also get a Nick Fury hint on this too. I think a lot of these TV shows hitting at Secret Invasion. I think Secret Invasion going to be the TV show, the TV series, big event. You know what I mean?
And you've been saying that for a long time now. And,
yeah.
And every time you say it, it starts making more and more sense. And I think we need to go back into the logs and go back to the first time that you said that, because you've been saying this since before the pandemic. I feel like you've been having that thought.
Yeah, man. I think everything on the TV series gonna end up in somehow Secret Invasion. Even though I think the main characters might go into the big Avengers, but I think they putting all these side characters for Secret Invasion. Like you had Monica Rambeau, she talking to Nick Fury. I'm pretty sure you're gonna see the Thunderbolts. I'm pretty sure you're gonna see somebody else talk to Nick Fury before this over with. And they all gonna go in there. It's all preparing because you know Secret Invasion gonna be the big one. They paying Samuel Jackson to run a series. You know they paying. So I feel like it's gonna end up in there, and I'm looking forward to see what's gonna happen in this episode. I'm gonna see if they gonna both be Captain America. I doubt it. Sam gonna be Captain America. We know you'll find out. Hopefully, find out who the power broker is, and all that. It ain't a lot to straighten up, but it's a really good show. This show is actually
interesting that they're giving them 7 and 8 episodes at a time.
Oh, they're giving this one 6, but it's longer. These are hour long, 50-minute long, compared to WandaVision was
Wanda was 41.
Yeah, 40 to 35. We say 41, but the credits made it 5 minutes.
Yeah, the credits were super long.
So they had 9 episodes. This one is like longer, but has less episodes, and I think they're gonna start switching them, give them about the same amount of time. I know they had to cut a lot from the show, which you can kind of tell too, because it feels like the show has because it kind of make the Flag Smashers seem weaker than they supposed to be, not in terms of power, but as characters. And they said they had to cut some that was vaccine related and not global health crisis. Disney don't want to, oh my God, pandemic wise, because they did say these are vaccines. I'm like, why would they say these are vaccines in the first episode? They don't mean nothing, but they probably had to reshoot some stuff. So that's cool. But so maybe we don't get them getting the story they deserve, but I don't think they're going to be around after this. So I don't think none of these characters are going to be around after this. So I think that's going to end that. We do know Zemo is going to Thunderbolt Ross, which is 100%. Probably gonna be the Thunderbolt. So I think that's gonna happen soon because he just got caught by the Wakandans. They said they're gonna send him to that prison in the water. So, and that's what Thunderbolt Ross is over. So that's 100% hint at the Thunderbolt. Now let's get to the last thing we're gonna talk about. The Invincible. Joe carried away.
Man, I know we kind of spoke on it. I think we talked about it after like episode 1 or 2. We spoke on it when it first premiered. There is nothing invincible about this man.
I think that's a joke.
If that's what they want to do, that's fine. That's like a bit optimistic, aren't you? This dude gets mopped every episode. I'm sorry. The last episode was titled "Dude, You Look Dead."
And they talking about him?
They said that to him. He said he got hit by a bus to like his regular friends. No, this dude whooped you like super bad. And then on this last episode, he got whooped again in the sewers by a human that's good at like building cybernetic stuff out of people.
What's funny is he broke his jaw when he punched him. I'm like, that's so realistic. If a super powerful dude punched a regular dude, his jaw would be broke when he punched.
Yeah, facts.
Yeah, so I like how they give that
Um,
realism at least. Cause like Superman, how did Superman be punching these regular people and they face don't be gone?
he like just about he holds back. I don't want to hear that.
I don't know if you ever
Spider
held
Man
back
gives
in
it
your
apparently.
punches ever. But if you can lift if you can spin the earth backwards and you punch somebody, I don't know how much control you have over your power is insane. Ain't nobody that focused in life.
Man, that's a super focus. Like if I can punch you and make you splatter on a wall, or you splatter in my hand,
That's why I like.
who's to say I just be just punching you just enough? And then the
What?
people be
What?
having the
How
nerve to
you don't
get
have
back
an
up
accident?
talking to him.
How you don't have an accident? Superman should have an accident. Like, what if he just get mad one day and punch somebody? Like, how you go? Did you hold back then too, Superman?
See, that's why we like Omni Man. Omni Man showed us that we can grab the Black Batman and just splat him on the ground if we want to. Like,
He
you know,
and ripped his whole body.
that was gruesome.
Half of his body was on the floor when he pulled it off. Like,
Then like his leg was crushed because he grabbed him by his leg
and that's how it
and he
should be.
crushed him. You Superman. And also, I definitely want to give a shout out to the LGBTQ community that they represented in this last episode. Mark's best friend, he does have a significant other that is also in the LGBTQ community. So shout out to them for speaking on that. Very Image Comics. Image Comics is still right there. They touched on a lot of this stuff back in the 90s and early 2000s, but people didn't show Image Comics enough love. Honestly, Image Comics would have been done did the whole uh the interracial dating and threesomes with clones and all type of stuff. Image Comics, they gave you your first black superhero from hell. So with all that being said, man, shout out to Image Comics. They got something good, and I can't wait to see because more than
And shout
anything,
out to
I'm
Amazon.
not. Shout out to Amazon for
They
picking this stuff up.
they picking a
Absolutely.
lot of Image Comic stuff up. They on
Is
the
the
show.
boys Image?
I think yeah, the boys is
But
Image.
shout out to I want to and before I go, I just want to say, man, I'm very intrigued in this Omni Man situation. His wife is getting a little too involved. What you gonna do about that?
Can I have one complaint? That's the only complaint I got
Yeah,
about the show. That relationship getting on my nerve.
at this point, yes.
I'm like, this is getting annoying, bro. Just tell her you're a superhero. Tell her to go on. Cause now she'll get beginning to annoy me. I'm like, you can't tell the science that he this superhero. Even his best friend looked at him like, what? By the
Now
way,
you no, hold on.
I love the realism in that because if your friend saw you for so long and then looked at you in a suit, they can be like, no, you my boy. You talk like him. You look like him. That would make me that, and that's also making fun of Superman's cameraman. What's his little orange hair dude?
Oh,
J-
Joey,
Jimmy.
Jimmy,
Yeah.
Jimmy.
So they basically saying, how did you not know who Superman was this year? And Superman didn't even have a mask on. Like you've been with this man every day, and you can't tell.
He took his glasses off. Like it wasn't one time they was just in a steamy place, or they was at Fuji at the old sushi house, and he just didn't take his glasses off for a hot second. Man, I'm telling you, it was that curl in the front, man. I ain't much realize it was him.
I like how, and then in one episode, the girl actually said that people they don't think in their natural life that people are superheroes, so they can just see me and not think about it, even though I look exactly the same.
Yeah,
I,
Adam Eve does not change her appearance. She puts on a pink outfit.
yeah, so basically, so essentially, she just admitted like this how stupid this is. We gotta give you a reason for. Like, Wonder Woman doesn't change appearance and she just walks around, and nobody like, oh, that's Wonder Woman. She doesn't change her hair. She just changes into a costume.
I guess I won't look like a museum curator. I'll just throw on my Wonder Woman costume, and that'll be it. That'll be it. So yeah, definitely. I love this show right now. I think it is going to deviate a little bit from the book, which that's what you should do, because there's people that feel like they anticipate what's going to happen. Um, I just want to see what Omni-Man, what's Omni-Man's tricks? What is he trying to do? Why are you sitting there watching your son get massacred? You watched your son get massacred like 3 times now.
And he don't be worried about it. Like, I ain't finna get no revenge on this dude. You gotta learn.
But what if Battle Beast or whatever his name, what if he killed him? He could have killed him.
I don't think he would.
And let's not forget.
Well, if you learn the future, you learn that he wasn't worried about that. But you got to read on to understand that.
But let's not forget, he's part human, so maybe he doesn't get that kind of strength that a Viltrumite might get. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So,
but his dad didn't seem to be worried. He even told his wife in this episode, "I told you he gonna pull through." He part what's the name? So, and if you know the rules of that, what you will learn in the future, I'm pretty sure season 3 or so. Season 3 or 4, you'll learn why he wouldn't be worried because of that.
Is he not disappointed like Michael Jordan is and his kids? Like, you don't let these creatures come to Earth like 3 times and they upgraded on you every single time. I just came there and destroyed the planet.
Okay, let me clarify. The Boys was published by Wildstorm, aka DC Comics, and then turned to Dynamite Entertainment.
I can see how that might get lost in the shuffle.
Yeah,
I always felt like DC, Image and DC was like first cousins, because they basically was like all their artists and their creators. A lot of them at one point jumped ship and went to Image, and then was like, "Hey, no, actually, no, hold on, it might be Marvel." Because Todd McFarlane, he drew a lot for Spider-Man back in the 90s. A lot of those cover books, Todd McFarlane, the creator of Spawn, he did a lot of that artwork.
Miss Beowulf Image Comics. Let's see what else here. Walking Dead. That's another popular one.
Image Comics is still in business. I'm intrigued. I'm sure
Bullet Wars. I don't know if anybody's seen that, but that's on there. Some of these aren't that good. I ain't read a lot of these, but some of these ain't good. Some of these are amazing. Trying to see one people might know. I don't read some of them, but God's Country is really good. I don't know if people read that. Let me see what else on here. A lot of stuff I don't know now. I'm in the eyes. I don't know a lot of this. Invincible. Yeah, that's the one y'all are looking at now. Kick Ass is one of them. Which was a nice throwback to Marvel in the WandaVision. When old boy said Evan Peters like kick ass.
Yeah.
That was a nice throwback because him and old boy who played both Quicksilvers was learning the main characters and kick ass.
Shout out to that Easter egg.
Yo, that was, I'm like, bro, and it's crazy that both Quicksilvers were literally both Quicksilvers were the stars of kick ass. That's hilarious. That's a hilarious coincidence that Fox picked one of them and then Disney picked the other one. Even though they're the same character.
It's one of the most well thought out shows I've ever watched. I gotta say, as far as just like put all details in it, we love it. I enjoyed WandaVision a lot. Shout out to Disney. Shout out to Marvel for saying here's the rights and y'all do what y'all do. Mickey Mouse, go ahead and do what you do.
I'm gonna tell everybody the truth. I thoroughly enjoy Falcon and the Winter Soldier more than I did WandaVision. But WandaVision was so much fun. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. Like if I'm watching it, so WandaVision watching after you figure everything out, it's, you know what I'm saying. It's kind of okay. But when you was in it and you didn't know, WandaVision was amazing. I was excited every week to see what's gonna happen, and I ain't did that in years watching a TV show. Probably since the second season of Blacklist. Blacklist was amazing, by the way. If you ain't never seen Blacklist, watch the first one.
Shout out to my boy Ray Reddington.
Yo, Joe, them early season of Blacklist
had me going.
Then it got convoluted. then they start doing too much. Everybody start betraying everybody, and then like, I was a triple spy to the spy you was a spy of, and I'm like, okay, buddy, okay.
They just took that whole first lovers thing. They just took that whole first season. Was like, I mean, that worked this season. Who else can we get to betray everybody?
Yeah, and then they started doing like, then his assistant betrayed him, but she was an agent for him. But then she was the ultimate betrayer again because she worked for his daughter who betrayed him from when she figured out that she was him. I'm like, come on now. How many times can you? But how many? She had 8 Octagon agent. She done worked for him 4 times over as a double agent for the double agents. I'm like, come on, bro, that's too much. You can't double agent a double agent.
It's too much.
But them first few seasons when it was just, is he her father? Why is he so nice to her? And then just figuring stuff out as they go. And they had simple villains who was like the top people in the world, and they were figuring it out. That was amazing. When it started being all about backtracking and stealing and kidnapping and everybody betraying everybody, and then this person faked the kidnapping to do it. I'm like, so you faked this kidnapping? For what end? Because someone's a betrayer. But then you realize they hired that person in the first place. You're like, what? That's season 6 or something, but I tell you.
Yeah, it when it came out back in like 2012 or whatever, maybe 2013, yeah, maybe 2013, could be 14. It gripped me. It gripped me.
Yeah.
I was there every episode.
Like
I'm watching
NBC
it live
every
with
time.
The commercial.
Heroes were the same way. You remember Heroes?
Then I stopped. I didn't get on Heroes because for whatever reason I wasn't fully with NBC like that.
Oh, so you got on later when Redmond then came, because that was years later.
No, I saw something where they was like, hey, it's a super smart dude, and it reminded me of Light Yagami. So I was like, all right.
So that's a good thing about him. He is not like that man literally went to the government and said, hey, I'm the #1 villain in the world. I'm turning myself in. I'm like, why would he do that? And then you get that story. That was amazing. Them first.
And then, like, the great part about it was how scared they was of him. He came in there unarmed, all that. And they put him in a big old cell and like a big old thing where there's always lights on him and guards in front of him. He messing with the guards all day.
That was cool because they gave you that Hannibal Lecter feel too.
It did, man. It was Red is a dope character. I don't think we'll ever forget about him, especially how cool he was being on The Office. He was a cool character on The Office too.
And he killed Ultron. He did his thing with Ultron. Before we get off, let's talk
Marvel movie I didn't watch.
You don't want Age of Ultron?
I wasn't excited about it. I left it alone. I jumped back in after. I think they gave us Avengers, and then I was like, all right, cool.
Or
was it Avengers 2? They gave us Avengers 2, and then that's when I jumped back into it. And then
can I give Marvel credit? Because their Avengers come up with some crazy quotes. They villains come up with these most these philosophies that are wild.
Like Ultron, if I'm not mistaken, he was like, no, the best way to make the world better is for it to not be humans. Duh.
Yeah, and then he came up with these philosophies, these sayings, and they were cool. Thanos did that a lot too. It's a dude on TikTok, by the way, who just does Thanos sayings. And it's hilarious.
It's just stupid though, because it's like, if you have the power to have the universe, why don't you just make double the resources?
Well, according to what's his name? According to the Flag Smashers, the world was better, so people do think it was better. So some people agree with Thanos.
Some people do agree that the world was better after the snap.
They said with less people, nobody cared about borders. People could go where they want to. You had plenty of resources. And they said even if you added more resources, people will still have their borders and try to hog the resources. But when you lose half the world, people are like, you know what? This ain't worth it. So people agree with it. So then some people like, it's crazy. So you see our names above. So hit up. You see mine right here. Joe's is right above him. The X. So hit those like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that follow button. If you're listening on Spotify, you won't see the top stuff if you're on Spotify. So go into the description and find it. And we appreciate y'all. Give us some feedback. Go to the YouTube. Tell us how you feel about it. Tell us what you think. Tell us your thoughts. Come back next week. We will be back next Tuesday. We're going to do these Tuesday. Big podcast on Wednesday. Next week, we'll talk about sports on Western 99, so y'all got to listen to it. We can just do weed talk. And then hopefully the week after, I can get a group of girls and we have male ask female questions in a few weeks on purpose. So hopefully I can get that together. But it'll be fun. If not, we'll have something with purpose again, but we'll have fun, you know what I mean? And we'll find out next week if Bree ever find out what Drake and Nicki mean. You'll find out what I'm talking about tomorrow. So watch that tomorrow to find out that Easter egg. All right, we love y'all. Keep stopping. Unico, any last words?
Mike Woodson didn't have nothing to do with the downfall of the Knicks. He was a great coach. It's not his fault. And and IU tried to give Brad Stevens $70 million, but Mike Woodson signed for $18 million. I'm calling BS.
By the way, Derek Chauvin, analyst, tell us about Derek Chauvin before we go. What was the closing argument?
So they did the, I'll make it quick. So they did the closing arguments, both the defense and the prosecutors. So the prosecution, they went first. The defense, they did their thing. The judge cut him off because they was like, hey, we thinking about lunch. So you've been talking for 2 hours saying the same thing, which was saying a reasonable officer. And then the rebuttal came back. And after that, the rebuttal was the brother, Blackwell. And he kept on talking about all these fairy tales that the defense was trying to come up with. And so the defense got upset at the end and they tried to file a motion for a mistrial because he was discrediting the argument. So the prosecution was discrediting the defensive argument, calling it Halloween tales. So they tried to get a mistrial a couple of times at the end of proceedings while the jury was doing their thing and deliberating. So they will be deliberating every day from 9 a.m. to 7:30. They are able to leave early each day if they need to, but and they can still ask the judge questions, and the judge will speak to both sides to add, as far as clarification. But it could be they could finish this up by tomorrow. They can finish this up by the end of the week. I'm not sure. My first thought is this: there are some of those laws, the way that they're written, he may not get the big one. He may not get the big murder one, but he may get some of the lesser degree murders and end up doing a little bit of time. I just don't see him getting the big one, just because it's hard to claim intent. Some of those is doing things with intent to do what happened. And I don't think that I think they're gonna have reasonable doubt there. I don't think he intended to kill George Floyd.
All right, that's the Derek Chauvin report. Joe will be back next Tuesday. Tell you the finale and his thoughts on keeping that 9, because we keeping it 99. Can't keep 100 because y'all get mad and you want to cancel me, but sometimes I need to be canceled. You know what I'm saying? I'm a dog. But remember, like I said, keep stomping. Today of all day, something amazing here. Peace.
I holla.